Hello? Am I live? Am I live? Holy cow, I think I'm live. Okay. Hello? Hello? Okay, yes, I'm live. Yes, of course. So, basically, I've had this drawing sitting in my SSD for like God knows how long. Like it's been a while. Um and basically uh well, I didn't know what to do with it. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Um, the truth be told, I have no idea why I just decided to leave this drawing. I guess I just thought it was a little bit boring. It is very much like, well, yeah, it's a very simple drawing. It's like just an attractive girl just with cat ears, and that's about it. That there really isn't a lot here. It's just kind of, yeah, I don't know how else to say it. It's a bit boring. Um, I'm kind of working on, I didn't plan anything. I literally just set it up and I'm starting to stream. Mm. Ah, oh God. Okay, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm just like setting everything up. I didn't set up anything like an old title or fuck. Oh my God. I don't know why. Usually the software I'm using like asks me, hey, would you like to like set up the title and everything? But this time it didn't. So I'm kind of just like, holy cow, everything's starting so fast and I can't do anything about it. And don't worry. Anyway, so I decided to start working on this drawing. Uh, like I came up with this idea back in like April or whatever. Uh, and I don't know, I just decided that I found it really boring and uninteresting and just like kind of a bad drawing. But oh my God, dude, why the hell doesn't it let me delete these things? Oh, fudge. Oh my God. Fudge. I hate everything of technology so much. You have no idea. Okay, join. Okay, this is the most boring live stream ever. Okay, whatever. You know what? I just started. This is annoying as hell. I hate being like a YouTuber. This sucks. If you want to be a YouTuber, you're kind of stupid. I don't know why you'd want to be this, especially not a streamer. It's really hard to talk and do stuff. Okay. Now, usually I'm gonna just do this drawing a little bit like how I usually did it back in the day. But actually, should I? Or should I do it now like nah, we're gonna do it like I usually did it back in the day. Get my brush right here. Okay. Holy cow. Let's go. Now my lighting is mostly gonna be from up top over here, so I'm gonna just start adding the shadows. Now I noticed that right around here looks pretty interesting. No, we're gonna start right here. Let's start in the torso. Hmm. Is this the best way of doing things? You know what? No. Why would I do this drawing like the old ones when this isn't an old drawing? This is not how I do things now. We're gonna draw this the way I do it now. I feel like the skin should be a little bit more reddish. And I'm gonna go over here. This brush, I always use it. Let's see if we can maybe use my smiley brush. I made this one back in the day when I made a drawing of Ragatha from the Amazing Digital Circus. And well, I don't know why, I just really like the way it looks. We're gonna add some spacing to it. We're gonna, well, color dynamics, make sure that it just changes the color randomly. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. Okay, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. All right. Yes, huge jitter, very nice. Let's see what else. Should we add like a texture to it? Nah, no need for a texture. Color dynamics, very good. Opacity. Make the angle a little bit different every time. Let's say 6%, 6 or 7%. The roundness as well. A little bit minimum diameter. I usually try to set it to like 10%. Just take off those little weird, really, really thin lines that sometimes happen. Scatter. Do I scatter the brush? A little bit. We'll give it a 10% scatter. Let's see what else, what else, what else. I think that's good enough. Now I'm going to start with, let's say, the skin. We're going to start with the skin of the character. I find that's a good place to start any drawing, really. Okay, let's start. So I have my reference over here, and I notice that it's much darker right here in the shadow of the arm. It's very, very red. Yeah, we'll go with this. Something like that. And we're going to start shading everything. Again, my light is going to be coming mainly from the, let's say this over here from the top left, looking basically forward. So there's going to be quite a lot of shadows on the right-hand side of the drawing. Now, the thing I like about this brush is really just that weird texture that it ends up creating. It's just really nice. It's kind of fun because from a distance, it just looks like a weird random texture. But once you have, once everything is, once you kind of like zoom in, you start seeing like a bunch of little smiley faces, and that's always very fun, at least for me. Now, let's see what else. Well, no, that's great. What's the point of making these selections anyway? Another thing I like is just the fact that I can kind of just like click on it several times, and it's a bit like pointillism in a way. That's kind of how I describe my new process. It's a lot of just like clicks. I just click on it a lot of times. And that's kind of how I draw things nowadays. Now let's get this, and I'm gonna go basically all over the skin, and I'm gonna just basically add the smiley faces. Since I have a huge jitter, uh, then what that means is that basically as I go over everything with the brush, it makes it look like there's a little bit of texture all over it. Again, I noticed that a lot of my previous drawings didn't really play around with texture. They were very flat drawings, not very interesting, not a lot of things to look at. And I want just for this drawing to try to really do something different, do something new. I'm like, if you're gonna be drawing this type of thing, just like a very basic pinup girl, you might as well have fun with it, make something new, make it a little bit interesting. Don't just draw the same things over and over and over again. It gets boring. Oh my god. Okay, we'll add some shadows right here. Maybe for each of the different things, we can add like a slightly different texture to the brush. Who knows? It is surprisingly difficult to be entertaining like like this, like trying to do everything live. It is a surprisingly difficult task. Okay, what I notice here in my reference is the fact that it's a lot darker right here. Like, there's a lot of shadow in this area, this whole leg area. It is very dark. Right here, this is basically where the kneecap is. I'm gonna simplify the kneecap. I'm simplifying a lot of things. I'm simplifying. I'm simplifying. Oh, I can't even speak today. Simplifying a lot, but I'm always trying to think of like just trying to like just because you're drawing like a pinup girl, just because you're kind of exaggerating parts of the anatomy doesn't mean that you just completely throw logic out the window. Instead, you just take advantage of the fact that people aren't expecting the biggest, most insane drawing to lay back and just experiment with different textures and stuff like that while still thinking about how the drawing should generally look. I'm not doing a good job explaining this. Not at all. And right here, we need to make sure that there's still a clear separation of light and dark. Whenever I draw the human body, I'm really surprised by just how much of it can be simplified into a cylinder, like this entire arm and the legs, they're just cylinders at the end of the day. That's all they are. Oh man. This drawing not turning out like I thought it would. Just throwing that out there. This is not how I expected the drawing to be looking. But that's kind of the fun part, you know? Sometimes you just start a drawing, you don't really think about anything, just kind of zone out, let the drawing happen the way it's gonna happen. And that's it. Just relax. Because if this drawing turns out bad, then it doesn't even matter. Because I abandoned it all those years ago. Well, I'm gonna be mad that this abandoned drawing didn't look good when I picked it back up again. Of course not. At the end of the day, I didn't really care about this drawing much. So I'm just gonna focus on having fun with different textures. I noticed that this part is really, really dark in the reference photo. So I'm trying to make sure to match the general darkness, you know? Hmm. Do I have anyone chatting right now? Delete. Oh cow. For some reason, I cannot check the live chat right now. So if you're trying to chat with me, I'm so sorry right now. That is completely unavailable. Hmm. Hmm. It's a bit dark. I'm just hmm. I'm gonna darken a bit of the arm. I'm noticing that it should be a bit darker. Basically, I'm creating the terminal, basically the transition between light and dark. And you know what? I'm gonna make it a little bit more red-ish because usually it's a little bit more red. Hmm. Okay, this part should be a little bit lighter. We're gonna use a little bit of yellow as well. And clunk. Honestly, it's like a preference thing, but I always loved drawing the navel. I think it's a very interesting part of the human body. It's, it's like it seems so simple on the outset, but there's a certain level of complexity to it that I've always really enjoyed. Hmm. I do think that the kneecap right here should be even darker. I'm noticing that I'm not. I think it's because I started from a very light value when I usually start from like a mid tone. So right now I'm noticing that my shadows do not look dark enough, which causes my midtones to just seem kind of muddy, and that's no bueno. But I'm a pretty good artist. I know what I'm doing. So we're gonna fix it. We're gonna make it look really snazzy. No one says snazzy anymore, but I do. Okay, what else? Darken this part, trying to make it look, trying to really convey the roundness of that form right there. And to do that transition, since I'm already using this very textured brush, I'm just gonna add all that texture like that. Make that lighter part, and there's like a very, very bright spot right here. And then like this light right here. There's well, I think I exaggerated that bright spot a bit too much. Um, yep, definitely exaggerated that. Let's undo, let's undo. We're gonna just little bit more subtle right there. Well, say this this kind of very crazy texture brush, not the best tool for drawing, like making a drawing look real, I guess. Because really, bodies do not look like this. They really don't. But what else? It's fun. I like it. This part also is very dark. One thing that I always try to do when I'm drawing, I'm always trying to think of like actually observe what it is that's in front of you. A lot of the times, especially with my kids, my students, they they kind of come into the drawing with an idea of how things usually look. So they usually have this, they usually have that, instead of actually drawing based off of what is truly actually there. So I'm gonna sing also right here. It's very, very bright. It's close to the light source, so we're gonna just what that's so there. Very bright, close to the light source. Yeah, I'll admit it's not the most normal looking drawing, especially the legs here. It's very strange. It's kind of bizarre, but it looks interesting. It looks different from the usual, and that's kind of what I'm going for. So, so far, it's pretty good success. Okay, I'm noticing that there's quite a lot of shadow right here. Let's add this. Shadow under the chin, very important. We can't miss it. Okay, just add this little shadow right here. Nice, very nice. Hmm. Yeah, this part should be a bit darker. And I'm gonna make sure that the shirt kind of looks like it's casting a shadow right there. Let's get some of this light over here. Just on the general chest area, I guess. Now this is looking interesting. It's looking different, but hmm, I don't know, man. I don't know. This isn't looking quite awesome enough. I'm gonna try to soften a little bit the texture on the legs. I do enjoy this, but might be a bit much. Okay, we're gonna make this part more red, I guess. I mean, it's already really red right here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Interesting, very unique. Um, so far, I'm liking it. I think it's looking good. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's not stop. When you stop, you drown, you die. Hmm. Yep, there's a little bit more light right here. I'm gonna zoom in on the face right here. Face is always one of the most interesting parts of any drawing. So we're gonna start adding some basic shadows all over the place. And the lighting is coming from above, from the top left side. So we're gonna see shadows right here, above the eyes, under the eyebrows. The Bella should also have a bit of shadow right here. Hmm. There should be a lot of shadow right here as well. The nose. Show the size of that nose right here as well. It's gonna also cast a shadow. The nose casts its own little shadow right there. Ooh, yeah, it's looking pretty fun. It's good. It's interesting. I love the texture. Always a big fan of texture in my drawings. I find that one of the least interesting things that you could do is just like a very, very clean drawing with no texture or anything of the sort. I feel like that gets a little bit boring. So yeah, we're gonna just let's see. Well, there's shadow right under the mouth where the mouth is, and shadow right here in the chin area, just to kind of show the roundness of the face, the head. Usually shadow right here where the mouth meets this part. And let's keep going, adding a little bit of shading right here. Now I'm thinking a good idea would be to have like a different light source coming from the other way. But for now, we're gonna just keep it simple, very simple, like this. You know, the hair should also be casting a shadow, so I'm gonna add that right here. And we add a little bit more red right there for this transition. Yep, that looks about right. Pretty good, pretty good. Hmm. It's interesting, but you know, we might as well just darken this whole entire area. Truth is, I think it would be better. Just nice, solid color. Show that this is, in fact, in shadow. Mm-hmm. Nice here. The light right there. Okay. Good, good, good. Very good. A little bit of light right here. Now I'm gonna add some lipstick. That's what I usually like to do. Well, at the very least, make the lips a different color. Let's give it a little cupid's bow for the lips. A little bit like this. Very nice. Very pretty. Very fun. That get nice and red. And let's darken the top lip. That would be in shadow since it's facing away from the light. And darken it even more, just really up that contrast because right here up close you can see that there's a difference, but when you zoom out, you wouldn't be able to. So like this should work. I just realized I wasn't even recording this. I was not recording this at all. I'm actually gonna start recording it anyway. This way I can at least have part of the drawing recorded, and the other part we're gonna have to just like download it from my own live stream, which is kind of weird, crazy, but whatever. Yeah, darkening. Now this top lip is gonna have just some shading, brownness right here. Yeah. And let's have a really bright like pink right here. I'm gonna just let smiles kind of build up right there. And maybe just like a straight up white right there. It's kind of that seems good enough. Those eyes look terrifying now. We're gonna just fix that. Let's get a little bit of shadow in the eye area. Can make it even darker. This should be brighter. We're gonna just have it be a little bit blue. Mostly just white right here. Now it's a little better. And the eyes, we gotta really darken them. So let's do something like this. And then a little bit of shadow, a lot of shadow. Let's keep it even darker. Let's kind of give it basically like a purple tint in the shadows. Perfect, perfect. Looks nice, interesting. Nice, nice. And obviously, let's add some of the highlights. And I'm gonna put it on top. Click a bunch of times, and that makes this little eye right there. Pretty cute, a little bit creepy, whatever, doesn't matter. Looks fine, looks fine. And a little bit of light right there. I do think that we should have a little bit of the indication that there is, in fact, an eyelid up there. That's good. Oh, I just realized one of the reasons why it's kind of looking a bit flat is because I'm not adding any type of like increased like redness on the cheeks. Basically, we gotta add a little bit of blush to it. Bless you. That looks a little cuter now. Okay, nice, nice. Mm-hmm. All right, so far, so good. This part should be a bit darker. Yeah. Go right here. I do think it might be a bit too dark right there. So we're gonna go over it and sliding this part up. Let's keep it a little bit more subtle like that. Oh, that looks nice, nice, nice. That's how it started, basically like this. Now we got this. It's a lot more interesting. Hmm. The neck needs a little bit more work. I do think that it's not quite finished yet. Hmm. There is a lot of like different, like, yeah, different areas of the neck. It's really complex. Necks are very complicated, actually. Wow. Let's focus, focus. Add some shadow right here. Yeah. Let's add a little bit of lighting up here. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Hmm. Okay, nice. I'm enjoying it. It's good. I guess the only part of the skin left is really the cat ears. Really, the whole ear should be in darkness, but we're gonna just kind of have a gradient right there. Gradient, 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 and yeah, basically that's about it, folks. There. Okay, skin is basically done. Now we're gonna get to the red parts. Let's see how the hair is, or at least in this scenario, I guess you could call it fur. I wouldn't, but whatever. Get nice and dark. And we're gonna see. Maybe it's should we continue with the smiley face? Hmm. Smiley face or no smiley face? Smiley face or no face? Some reason I can't see my live chat. Oh, I hate this sometimes. Let me just I have to do a few things right here. Mhm. Hmm. 12 views. 12 views. I have no viewers right now. Holy cow, that sucks. Well, there's a truck passing by. That's really annoying. Hmm. I guess we'll continue with the smiley brush. Looks nice anyway. Let's get this part right here. Hmm. Yeah, nice, nice. Very good, very good. Get the chest kind of looking about right. Let's see. Let's continue. Let's add some shading right. Hmm. Okay. Keep going, keep going. Okay, so and I just add some more shading right there, kind of, ooh, and that's pretty good. Maybe a little brighter here. Oh god, it needs to be even darker. Mhm. Okay. Okay, I notice I'm not talking that much. It's really hard to talk when you're concentrating on something, but whatever. So basically what I'm doing is like the reference that I'm using obviously does not have clothes. It's a nude reference. So I'm trying to imagine how it would look like underneath. Well, if there was something on top of, on top of the skin. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult, which is why I'm kind of having a hard time talking. Still, I mean, let's face it, it's you don't have to be like super precise, super perfect when it comes to lighting and shading. You can absolutely just kind of cheese it, use a little bit of your understanding of how things usually look, and you'll be fine. That's nice. Interesting. Very good. I really hope you can't hear that in the background. That somebody's selling some food. Let's make it darker, darker, darker. Yeah, perfect. Just like that. Perfect. Now the hair. I've always struggled a bit with hair. It's not easy at all. but I am an expert at making stuff up. So what else? Let's keep going. Hmm. So not a lot of this is going to be actually looking at the light. So we're going to just focus on just a few key areas. Few key areas. Yep. Okay. Looks about right. Obviously, I'm not someone who really tries to make everything super precise all the time, which is funny for me to say, considering that that's kind of what my family knows me for. It's being someone that's always trying to get everything perfect, 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 but I take shortcuts all the time. I just don't announce it to everyone. Let's kind of make this part a bit darker. Now, this entire area is going to be basically all pitch black. I'll make this brush a little bit smaller, try not to invade too much on the face area. And let's get a little bit darker. Hmm. Yep, this entire area is going to be pretty dark, dark, dark. Right there, dark. Let's increase our brush size right there. Yes. Yeah, that's nice. It's nice. It's looking good. Okay, at that. Some basic shading right here on the ear. Now for the hair, I gotta figure out how to lighten this up. So we're gonna keep this nice and bright. Let's start with something simple. Let's add some light over here using this lovely little pink. Right, and just a little bit of light like that. Yeah, very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. Perfect. Very cute. It's interesting. It's nice. It's pretty. Okay. I don't. Let's kind of take that part off and there. Now I'm gonna make this part even brighter. Let's keep it super duper bright. I'm gonna take off a little bit of this. um, yeah. Okay, and one final thing with a bright white, and we're gonna do it on the highlights. That. Ooh. Yeah. That's good. That's good. And yeah, that's perfect. It's looking incredible. No, that's a bit too much right there. Maybe we're gonna just have one little light right there, like that. Perfect. I like it. Let's go back to this. Let's get the colors and Let's kind of add that same general thing to the cat ears because I forgot to add that to the cat ears. The cat ears are very important. They show the cattiness of the character. Okay, add that a little bit. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. Looks very pretty. We're gonna add basically the same thing over here, except we're gonna, instead of it's so pink, we're gonna have it be just like a reddish tint. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Okay. Hmm. Okay, there's not a lot of parts left. I'm gonna darken a little bit, trying to make these eyebrows a little bit thicker. I do think that they're a bit thin. Hmm. What else does this drawing need? I do think that the face is a little bit light still. Let's kind of add a little bit more darkness on certain areas. Just kind of, I want to really make sure that you could tell that there's, light and shadow all over this place. Let's kind of make this part a little bit darker. Let's add that. Ooh, one thing, usually, yeah, I knew it. We're gonna add a little bit of light right here. That. And I noticed I didn't add any lighting at all. Well, not any lighting, but not enough. Make sure that it's nice and bright. It's interesting. It's basically close to complete white right here for the nose. Make this part a little bit brighter. This part a little bit darker. Just kind of show the philtrum basically. It's right there, and this part of the mouth. Mm-hmm. Mm. All right. I'm trying to really capture the lighting in my reference photo. So I'm kind of adding a little bit more of this light right here. This is going to show the glossiness of the shine of the skin. It's good, it's good. Yeah, it's cute. Very nice, very nice. And make the brightness right here even more for these different parts. Let's, oh, Hmm. Anything else? Anything else? Oh, I need the pants. I need the bracelet. Let's do the bracelet first. It's easy. It's quick. Ah, deselect. Okay. Let's kind of get this more or less. This part needs to be pretty dark. Pretty dark. We add a little bit of a red tint to it. It's supposed to be gold after all. Gonna add a little bit more shadow right here. That it's a highly reflective surface, so I'm gonna just kind of go a little bit weird when it comes to this. Let's add more shadow right here, a little bit of light. Now it needs to be highly reflective, so we're gonna put very, very bright light, very bright white. We're gonna just completely take off the opacity control. It's all just gonna be completely bright. Yeah, that looks about right. Looks pretty good. Now it's the pants area. Now, sadly, my reference not very good when it comes to the pants area, considering it does not have pants. So again, I'm gonna have to just use what I know from how these things usually look. So we're gonna add some shadow right there. And oh boy, maybe the scattering wasn't a good idea. Okay, make this part darker, a little bit darker. This entire part should be made a bit darker. Yeah, very nice, very nice. This part can just be quickly done like that. Keep it like that, dark, very dark. Add a little bit of this. Yeah, that, yeah, that's perfect. I think that's kind of how it's gonna be. Let's see, maybe a little bit more of like a highlight here. Yeah, this is looking pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. I like it. I will say I did kind of miss drawing this type of thing. It's very simple. It's not really going to change the world or anything, but there is a general funness to be had with drawing something simple, just some dumb fun, nothing too crazy. Just, just drawing a cute girl. Now, gotta continue with this. Let's. I noticed that I forgot to add the choker right here. Make sure that the choker is visible. Now we can add a little bit to the choker as well. We can make it maybe like one of those more like shiny ones or whatever. Let's kind of add something like that. Yeah, I think that's kind of how I want it. Just like that. Now, how will I do the rest of the background? Well, the entire background. What will I do? How will I change it? Let's see. Hmm. Should it be like an outside area? Like I'm much better in my opinion when I'm doing like outdoor stuff. I think it's a little bit more interesting. But hmm, hmm. What should I do? What should I do? Well, I'll do what I always do whenever I don't know, which is work on something else in the meantime. Let's add another lighting. It's gonna be maybe a soft light. That let's add something like that. Yeah, this is looking pretty nice. I do enjoy a little bit of like another light source coming from like a different direction. I do think it kind of adds a lot to how a drawing looks. In this case, it's a little bit of a blue type thing. Hmm. This is not so easy. But oh, that looks nice. Kind of a little bit of a soft light right there. I noticed that it didn't even lock or like mask the whole thing, so I'm kind of going way overboard right there. But what else? We can fix it, take off these stupid things. That's what an eraser is for. And I didn't do anything about the hands. Oh, uh, what else? We'll fix it. This part right here, let me make this part darker. Let's kind of add some definition for at least the fingers. Right there, right there. I'm not even gonna bother pretending like I'm gonna make the hands look photorealistic. I'm just gonna focus on getting them to look like hands. So far, so good. Like hands, and that's basically good enough. Yes, and yeah, that's good enough. See, we started off like this, all just very simple, and now we have all this shading, lighting and shading. It's a happy drawing, happy drawing. Maybe we can, hmm, maybe I have an image. I'm gonna be looking at my phone. Let me see if I can find some sort of like, some sort of photo, maybe. I always like working from references. Hmm. Let's see, maybe I have something. No. March. Hmm. Maybe I might have found it. Hmm. Yeah, let's kind of make it a grassy field, maybe add some mountains, who knows, something like that. That sounds good enough. Let's see if I can find a good photo. I'm gonna be looking at it on my phone, who cares? Okay, let's go to the background. And you know what? We might as well do it all in one layer. So we're gonna have it be all blue. It's just reds and blues. Red for the character and blue for the background. So let me choose a nice blue, something that fits right. And do something like this. No, I do not like that. Let's kind of fix that blue. Maybe something a little more like this. So that. A little bit darker. And I could probably just leave it as is. Red, blue, and green. Oh my god, I just realized red, blue, and green. Those are like primary colors. Yeah, I guess we could just do primary colors like that. Now I don't want to look boring, so I'm going to use the fact that we have hue and saturation enabled, just like that jitter. And that means that I can give it some nice texture just like that. So very quickly, just just a few little things, we can have some texture. That's pretty good. Let's see what else. What else? Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to send myself the picture. Okay, now that we have this kind of interesting blue texture background, let's add some green, I guess. Let's choose a nice green, something that's still kind of bluish. Oh God, I think my tablet is starting to fail. Let's keep it a little bit bluish. Screen should be a little bit blue. Let's see, maybe something like this. No, no. You know what? Let's start with the sky first, and then we're gonna add the green grass and everything else. All right. So let's get this part to kind of have it be a little bit brighter. See, let's see. Oh, no, don't like that. Okay, let's do that. Let's give it a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm trying to get this to kind of look a little bit like. Gotta make sure this thing still looks like a sky by the end of it. No matter how experimental this texture is, it's gotta look like a sky. So That looks about right. I'm gonna go a little bit below, a little bit further down than I usually would go. Let's add some clouds. We're gonna put it all right there. And let's add some nice clouds. Let's see. Now what I'm using is an old photo that a friend took. Now I've painted this photo. I asked him like, hey, can I do this? And he said yes. So I don't think he'll mind if I take this same photo and draw it another time. So we add that. So far, wow, these are not looking like clouds at all. But thankfully, I am an expert when it comes to fixing things. So and make sure this looks about right. That and they need to be a bit darker in certain areas like that. Hopefully this looks about right. Legitimately, one of my favorite things about this type of drawing where I just use like one brush, like one really weird, like a texture brush, is just the fact that like, I mean, look at it. It's different. It's new. It's has a whole different vibe, you know? Notice very quickly. I like this. It's kind of gonna add a mountain right here. Some mountains. Yep. Okay, we need to darken these mountains a little bit. We can't make them too saturated though. So we're gonna just do something like this. Yeah, turning out pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Okay. Now you guys know why I always edit my videos, because wow, there's a lot of dead air here. Let's try to make this fun. Let's try to make this fun. Okay. These mountains are not dark enough. We need to darken these mountains, make it a bit darker. That way you could tell that there are mountains in the background. Otherwise, they just like look like weird blobs of nothingness. Okay, and yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Now there's these white parts of the mountain here. And because I kind of use the Photoshop's technique to like save the thing right there. If I don't like it, if it doesn't turn out looking good, then I could always just like go back to before I added the mountains. And I'm not quite sure that this was the right call. Hmm. It's just not exactly what I'm trying to go for here. Really does look like just like a random blob. in the background. Hmm. Maybe we can brighten up right here. Brighten up the spot. Nope, that still doesn't look quite right. I might just have to go back and remove the mountains. Just not enough like things right here. Obviously, like this, I can't really be adding much detail, so this just kind of looks bad. Really bad. No, no, no. This isn't working out. No mountains. We're gonna keep it just hilly. So we're gonna add some green hills. Now I did say I would be using just one layer, but you know what? I'm noticing I'm not doing that good of a job, so we're gonna try to make it a little bit different. So, oh, wait, on there. Sorry, my graphics tablet doesn't always work the best. Sometimes it just kind of screws with me, and I gotta fix it. So, okay, add this. I mean, to be perfectly honest, right here, these smiley faces almost look like grass. I'm gonna keep this thing a little bit like small. That way it continues to look like if it's like little blades of grass. Even though that this is gonna take longer. Oh boy, I hate this so much sometimes. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Hmm. Maybe I should just like scatter this brush a little more. What? Just like that, just like that. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Nice texture, nice texture. Okay, yeah, this is good. This is nice. It's interesting. Yeah. Okay, it's kind of add like a, yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. That's good. Oh my God, I really hate the neighbors sometimes. Some guy's blasting music from the outside. Let's hope. Let's hope no, you guys can't hear that. Anyway, I'm gonna make this a little bit more yellow and a little bit brighter as we go a little bit forward. Yep. Good, 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 good. Okay. Now a little bit brighter, a little bit more yellow. We keep going. And just one more time, a little bit more yellow and a little bit brighter. pretty good. Yeah, just add some texture to it. And we can't have it just be like that because that looks weird, right? This looks messed up, wrong. We gotta add some shadows that are gonna be kind of a bluish tint to them. Okay, there's gonna be this part right here. Gotta make sure this part's dark. Let's keep it like that, dark, dark. And let's add this shadow right over here. This entire part is dark. Make it darker, 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 and bluer. Okay. Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good. Yep. Looks very nice. Let's give it lower opacity right here. I'm going to try to make it look like these are further in the background. Making it a little bit more bluish. We can just make them look way back there. I'm going to make this part of the grass also like, I realize that the other lighting right here, that's what I'm looking at. We can't have this because if we have this, then it kind of ruins the shadow right there. Okay, back over here. Let's kind of get this part about right. I'm gonna be honest with you. This brush, this smiley face brush, is one of my new favorites. It is so fun to work with. It is insanely good. Okay, this looks good, but I don't know how I'm gonna make the mountains. Maybe we just make the mountains like just very simple. It's kind of just like the idea of a mountain in the background. And then we just like maybe use like a multiplier layer or something. Yeah, that looks about right. Just like kind of just multiply, just kind of make that mountain in the background. Looks good, looks good. I'm gonna make this part even brighter. And yeah, basically the drawing's done. Oh my gosh. Looks good, looks good. Let's darken this even further. Oh my God, sometimes I just forget that. Let's kind of darken this part right here. Maybe that's a bit too much. Too dark. It's kind of okay. That's a little. Let's see. And oh, no, no, no. We're gonna multiply. That way we can still see the bottom part. All right. Gonna multiply, but we're gonna bring down the opacity just a ton. So that make it a little bit darker around these edges, like if it's vignettes. Same thing over here. Maybe we can use a little bit of vignettes. Just right here in this corner. And because of how much texture is already being used, I do think I'm gonna have to maybe add like some highlights, some more intense highlights here. More intense highlights coming up. Let's add them. This way we can really make sure that we don't lose the foreground versus background, you know. Okay, yeah. Let's, yep. Or you know what? We're gonna have to just like blur a little bit of that background because it's just too busy. Sometimes what seems like a pretty good idea turns out to be just way too messy. I just now this part I'm gonna have to use the blur tool. Where is my blur tool? Oh, a lot of things I need to add here. Okay, add a bit of a separation between these things right here. I think that's kind of where I'm gonna have to end this drawing. I'll add a little bit of a color dodge light rays, maybe in a blue tint right here. And some ones like that. Yeah, I think it's done. This is how the drawing is gonna turn out. That's it. I really don't think there's much else to add to it. If I'm being perfectly honest, like yeah, right here, I'll add a little bit of extra shading. But yeah, the drawing's done. It's interesting. Background might be a bit too busy, but you know what? What the heck? It's fine the way it is. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Just that's where we're gonna have to cut things. I don't think I could do any more. I'm tired. It's been a lot of work. Um, I'd like to thank anyone who is still watching this, anyone who was watching in the beginning. I see that we had a few viewers. Um, Give me suggestions on what you'd like to see next. Honestly, this has been a bit stressful. It feels very weird to do this type of thing, but whatever. I'll see you again.